Last player standing.
The wolf begins to circle the boy. Claws of black steel, fur as dark night, eyes glowing red, jewels from the pit of hell itself. The giant wolf, sniffing, savoring the scent of the meal to come. It's not fear that grips him, only a heightened sense of things. His hands are steady. His form, perfect.
Nice.
Answer the boy, given up for dead, returns to his people. A king! Oh, king!
Today I wanted to quickly go over a small but important topic in regards to your aiming, and then we're going to talk through a few clips, dig a little bit into the thought process behind the plays, and hopefully help someone out there to improve their aim or their fundamentals overall. So let's dive right into it. Check out these 2 kills real quick.
Damn, that is a sweet aim, you might say. Round.
So those 2 kills were pretty much instant headshots, so those were good kills, right? But what if I told you that in both examples, the way I aimed at my target was a bad method? Here it is again at half speed to make the problem more pronounced. Try to see if you can identify it. If you are able to, you're probably more adept at aiming than you think. I'm gonna give you just a few more seconds to lock in your answer, and now here's the big reveal. So the issue with both of these clips is that I have floaty aim. Now what does that mean? If you look at both examples, you can see me turning my crosshair over to the target, but it's very slow. It's kind of trailing along. It's not snappy, but that's what you want to aim for. That quick, snappy flick right on target. That's the goal. So real quick, let me tell you how I developed this problem, and more importantly, what do I have to do to fix this problem? So while you're practicing or training, developing your aim, first things first, the most important thing is you want to prioritize accuracy above all else, right? Because we're trying to improve our aim, not reach a high score or anything like that. We want to get better. So while I was training, I was prioritizing accuracy above all else. But in turn, that kind of made me develop this bad habit to kind of slowly float my crosshair over the target, make sure it's on point, and then click, shoot. However, the reason this is bad is because it's just not practical or realistic. Now granted, in the 2 clips I showed you, I still was able to pull out with a kill, which is great. And even though it's only like a half-second difference, that half-second is basically like, what, 500 ms? That is a huge window of time, extremely reactable even to a person with very slow reaction speed. Check out on the first clip. I'm swinging window, my crosshair is pre-aimed somewhere else towards B site. I notice the jet down here by the box, and then I adjust my aim. However, in that time, you can literally see Jet's knives flying towards my face. She was just like a pixel off my head, and she was able to get more than 1 knife off. So realistically, even though I killed him, I should be dead here. Most times. Because I gave him an opportunity with my slow, floaty aim. I'm trying to approach out of market, I jiggle the stairs peak, it's safe, then I try to proceed, and I get slightly caught off guard by the chamber being close right. Now, 2 major things. You can notice my crosshair makes kind of like a reverse L shape. The crosshair kind of swings to the right, and then it swings up vertically straight to the head. But making that swoop, instead of like a straight line, bam, straight to the head, same problem. Gives him time to react, gives him time to get shots off, and number 2, he was still walking, trying to make it tucked into the corner, so I guess I just got a nice timing on him. Pretty lucky. If he was holding for me as soon as he heard me shoot on my first jiggle on the stairs, I should be dead like 9 times out of 10. Again, because of the floaty aim. So floaty aim bad, but how do we fix this? Well, like I said, I developed this problem, and it doesn't happen a lot, but it happens sometimes, which is still, bad. But that's also how we're gonna fix it. During your training or practice or whatever, every time you're switching targets after you hit your initial one, you need to do that deliberately. Like, try to flick hard to the target, hard and fast, but not too tense on your arm and hand, and develop your stopping power. Basically being able to flick and then bang, stop your hand, stop your arm, and hopefully be right on target. And even if you're not, another reason being snappy is good is since your hand is not flailing all over the place, your eyes will be able to read the situation and react appropriately and quickly. So you make faster corrections and have more chance of killing them before they kill you. So So in this first clip, we're up against an eco round while we have a full buy. Our setup's looking pretty good, no gaps, everything's secured. We saw the Sova dart mid at the start, which usually indicates some kind of mid play. So already our team is having a pretty good response to this. Cypher's anchoring, Reyna's rotating mid, Fade's leaning over towards me to assist. This is actually really an amazing rotation for a pug with no communication. If they come cat, me and Fade are ready for them. We have better guns, more util, etc. And if they go market, we can fast flank behind them, fight them on two fronts with Reyna holding top mid, and pincer them if necessary. So we hear sheriff shots really close to cat and footsteps as well. That's when I pop my dash. Reyna pops the eye, but I'm not gonna shoot it. Fade's gonna try baiting for me, so I pre-fire just in case the Reyna or his teammates are swinging on me, because Fade didn't shoot the eye but threw a dog out instead, which is fine. Fade should have stayed tucked out of their line of fire until I'm fully engaged with the first contact, then he can come out and swing and assist me. But he actually dies first, but I get the insta trade on Reyna. I'm gonna dash to safety and not get greedy because they're broke and my teammate's dead. If I were to fall right here, right now, that would probably be the round over. We would have lost cat and tree control, they would have two vandals, they would have numbers, and they're already really close to ace site, would most likely overwhelm the omen. And all this is against an eco round, mind you, so all bad, all bad, all bad. Easy decision to dash out. I actually should have picked up Fade's gun instead of reloading. It would have been way faster and I would have been ready for that jet on that first initial swing instead of having to throw a smoke out to buy time, and I almost get caught out. So I'm gonna do a little bit of a slight reposition, taking a few steps towards my right. I don't want to give up this space, and more importantly, I don't want to give up that free gun, because again, it would have been better if I picked it up because it's fully loaded and the gun I swap it out for will be empty, so it's not an immediate threat. Also note how my pre-aim is towards the wall because I was right up at the swing, but right at that instant, jet appears on my screen. I guess since I was walking, I should not have been aiming at the wall, pre-aiming at the wall, even for a moment. It's probably better if I was aiming directly at the angle, down cat, or holding out wide right in anticipation for someone to swing out of the smoke, which is what ends up happening. So following today's theme, I snap over to Jet. He takes one shot and swaps towards Marshall, probably a miss input. Sova was either too far away or too slow to follow up on that swing. Based off of instinct and reaction, you can see for a split second, I'm considering switching over to Sova, but then I realized that, Jet's still not dead, so I prioritize downing him first, then I can focus on the next guy. Now, spray transfers are not nearly as reliable in Valorant as something like CS or Call of Duty or something, but at this range, even with the wild recoil, random recoil, it's gonna be pretty easy to land shots, and also especially at this range, speed is very, very crucial. So I never let go of the trigger, and then I snap my way over to Sova while still spraying, and just control the recoil best I can and down him too instantly. In this next clip, our guy's hookah kind of jumped the gun, so I'm trying to get out there ASAP. Now I'm still hella scared for trips, but my team's out there, I just gotta get out there. So I'm gonna smoke left and right of sight. Probably could have saved one because the one on the right side is caged, but I didn't know when it was gonna disappear. And then from here on out, it's just standard clearing of your common angles, hiding spots, etc. Never be lazy or half-assed with your clearing of angles. All it really takes is a split second for you to register in your brain that a threat is right there or not. And I'm sure we can all relate to playing around and losing because somebody didn't clear a corner and ends up getting like 4 kills or something. So we spot this guy, take her out instantly, and then again, following today's theme, I'm gonna snap to the next angles or areas I'm gonna clear. Remember, no floaty. Now right here is probably the riskiest maneuver in this whole play, is because right in this moment, someone can swing me back sight or be in tube, and I can't be ready for both. So I'm just gonna have to rely on my flicks or my teammate to trade me if I die. But what I'm really aiming for is trying to clear the cubby corner on the right. So we engage with a brimstone. It looks like he was trying to hold for this tube walkout or swing instead of him opting to hide deeper in the cubby behind the cage itself. Because of the cage, it actually made him come out wide like this. So he was hoping to catch one real quick and then tuck back to cover, try to get another and another. But my swing was too fast, too snappy, and we're able to take him out too. Right then, the enemy jet pokes out, and yep, you guessed it. So in this next one, I'm holding down B main angle with an op. Fade crosses over to B main and play a cheeky spot, kind of like a bait setup. And I'm not worried about any flashes. They don't have any real pop flashes or omen blind. I'm not scared of Reyna blind, and I have 2 teammates nearby, so I'm not really scared. I decided to take the angle a little bit tighter, and then bam, we're rewarded with a freebie right at the start. Alright, Rain is impressed. I back off and shoot the silver dart. I got pinged, so I'm worried about the spam. So I prime my dash, just take a free pot shot into the main towards the direction where the jet smoke was thrown. And then I dash back into sight, not towards CT, because I still want to hold this ground. I still want to fight for it. I don't want to let them overrun it for free. But mainly because their pressure was so weak, like I really didn't feel threatened. I felt like I could sit safely in sight and still hold it down. So right then, Jet peeks over the top of Switch. Luckily, Cypher got him instantly. And if he hadn't, I would have went for a flick attempt and then switched to my classic or pull out the knives ulti. Then I go for a wallbang on B main, but that moment somebody hits the tripwire. If I hadn't wasted my shot, I could have banged him, but at least he gave me info, so I'm anticipating him to run, challenge me, swing out lane. I am anticipating him to be running, so I'm holding a little bit wide, but not overly wide and exaggerated, just in case he does jiggle too. So there's like a nice middle ground where I can react either way if he goes shallow or wide, because if he jiggles or goes shallow, I can still wallbang him and he will take a lot of damage or just straight up die. And if he's just running out along, it's a very easy reaction, as you can see. Then we take a glance at the minimap, see where the last two are, and I realize that I have no op bullets. Now personally, most situations I would call this a waste of knives, and I never am really this liberal with using her knives, but I didn't want to reload. I didn't want to use my classic because I've seen too many rounds where even when we have the advantage and it feels like we're about to win, if I went down here and then Clove has her self-res, I don't know, it just felt bad, so I popped the ult and go for it and make sure to secure it. So literally the second after I make that decision, Cypher goes down, so now it's a 3v1, so now I'm feeling a little bit of a waste with my ult. So we know that where the last person is, Clove is running up lane, and I'm like, damn it, I'm gonna make use of these knives. So I updraft, pre-aims, I heard her running down. Crosshair is relatively close to the ending point where I wanted it, end up with a nice kill, and we secure the round. Great. So in this next one, we're going to be going up cat and ending A on ascent. You can see by our starting position that we really had no plan in mind. We're just kind of winging it. So I'm just gonna go through cat and try to make some kills happen for our team, and hopefully we just get on site. You can see our desperation. We're down 5 rounds. We have no money and I have no armor, but I'm Reyna, so it's all good. I'm gonna just ignore this whole sequence in tree room because there's just way too much to talk about if we're trying to correct mistakes. So Omen got killed by Chamber. I take my initial swing, and I'm still scared about other spots on site, but before I can even worry about that, Chamber re-swing, so I react and kill him. He was actually aiming for Jet, or maybe that was an accident, but he takes him down and I traded. I go for a somewhat pretty safe plan, trying to be wary of Phoenix Molly or shock darts at the meantime, and the door breaking. So our teammate Switch goes down. I'm getting ready to fight this guy Tree. I'm still silent stepping, like jiggling, strafing. As soon as I hear him reload, I just run it down on him. Easy free kill. So now it's a 2v2, looks winnable, and I just got my ult. Head back to site, catch the Sova trying to take space, but he falls off as we shoot at each other. As soon as I'm behind cover again, I heard the Phoenix flash. So at most, I know he only has 1 left, and we know where both are, so there's no flank or anything.
I'm 1 HP.
As my teammate called, he's 1 HP, so it's practically a 1v2, or that's how I'm basically gonna play it. It seems they're aware that the Fade is still a main. That's because she killed the Reyna earlier from heaven and he didn't reposition, so they calmed that, he didn't move, so they know where he is. Now since I'm ulted up, I love to play right here, because if one of them comes out at a time, I can catch him, dismiss, and then it's a 1v1. If they come out both at the same time, I'm an ulted Reyna. I can spray really fast, do a lot of damage to both of them, or kill one of them, dismiss, and again, 1v1. The only thing that would screw me here is probably if they droned, tagged me, and then Phoenix flashed, and then they both run out with the tag and flash. But it would have required some pretty good timing, coordination, a maneuver that required too much precision that I don't think they would have pulled off. So I stand my ground, keep holding. So after that molly was thrown, they're starting to take jiggle peeks, pre-fires, they're taking pot shots, which means they're getting ready to swing. So I'm getting ready to swing too. You could see my body language kind of like inching out, kind of back and forth. And then when I see the gunfire from the heaven, that's when I'm getting ready the most. And because of that tell, it's kind of like a notification that, hey, we're about to come out, guys, get ready. And that's when I finally take my little swing right there, and I'm lined up perfectly with the Phoenix's head. He shoots a dart, but it doesn't matter. Again, yeah, the timing and coordination was not there. So now it's a 1v1. I know I have Fade, but he's 1 HP. I'm not counting him, as I mentioned earlier. I'm slicing angles, using the silent step, jiggles, etc. to check if Sova is out wide heaven. And when I see that he's not, I'm not going to check the heaven entrance. I'm going to check the middle of heaven before I do that. That method works perfectly. We find out exactly where he is. Now in my mind and in my hand, my movement inputs, I was already jiggling going back towards cover. I probably could have just crouch sprayed right here and finished the job, but since the initial few bullets were shot while I was moving, it might have been hard to recover my spray in time. But anyway, I tucked back into cover and I hear the Sova shooting at me, and this is a good thing to do. If people are spamming at you and you just re-swing into them, they're not going to be ready most of the time. So while they're shooting, spamming at some wall or box where they think you're behind, you swing on them and you insta-punish easy. Unless sometimes they're going to be spraying where you're going to be swinging into, and in that case, it's like a 50-50. You might get laid out instantly or you lay them out. Never a good idea to walk into their line of fire. So I thought Sova was going to keep on spraying, that's why I swung out, but as soon as I started moving, he started moving as well. Now the difference between this swing and the first swing mainly is my deliberation or intent. The first time I was doing it just for info. This second time, I'm doing it because I think I have an advantage, so now I'm swinging to kill, to commit. So again, following today's theme, we're going to snap to target, exercise our stopping power, tap counter strafe or just stop when shooting, and I only shoot one bullet, strafe a little bit opposite side, giving me that half second to know that my crosshair is lined up, and then I fully spray, commit, easy kill.
Oh, thank God we have it. Nice.
Spike down A. This spike.
I'm 1 HP.
Stop being out right now.
One enemy remaining.
Now here's an example of some not so snappy aim. It's the same match earlier round. We're on a save and I'm fast flanking through cat, they're hitting B. As soon as I get kinda close, I start walking, being careful just in case for any lurkers and the trip. We heard Phoenix ulting earlier, so I'm expecting 1 to 2 people holding this B main right now. So I get my flash ready and right then Phoenix flashes as well. Lucky for me, these guys were not holding his body and it's not a double swing. Probably because they knew that we were on a save round and they didn't anticipate a super fast flank like this, and they wanted all hands on deck to go rush site. So because of where I was facing, luckily the flash only like half blinded me. I readjust my aim anticipating his swing. I'm lining up with the wall, backing up a little for somewhat angle advantage I guess, but it's just like, can't explain it. It's like a comfortable distance where I feel comfortable landing the shot. So I'm anticipating his swing, it's kind of synchronized with my swing, and then the first bullet is very crucial. I get the tag on him as he's swinging out, which slows him down a lot, which makes my follow-up shot, a flick to the head, more manageable. So I suck the soul out of him, take his gun, and now it's looking winnable. I'm trying to be fast, but I'm still being a little bit careful, anticipating Chamber to be in some kind of corner. And you can see right at this point, crosshair placement kind of bad. As I'm getting ready to step out of B main, there's basically 3 main areas that I need to be worried about. It's gonna be the right corner in B main, logs, and the corner right above market stairs, right next to the switch door. So the reason my crosshair placement is bad right here, I know why. It's not because I'm unfamiliar with the map or the angles, but because I kind of rushed it, or I'm rushing myself. I basically did it in a suboptimal order or priority. For example, I should have cleared the closed B main corner first, because clearing that first, I'm still hidden from the logs and the market angle, but me trying to go for a peek at logs and market at the same time, and then checking for B main corner, that's just doing it all backwards. Because had someone actually been in the corner, if someone in B main and logs or market, they have a crossfire on me and I'm dead. Whereas if I check B main first, that's a 1v1, and then I could take the other ones 1v1, 1v1, isolated. I'm a little unprepared for Chamber's angles, so the spray and kill is a little bit messy. Then I clear out the rest, and we press forward. We're gonna go stairs because that's where Fade's headed, and it gives time for the ult to connect with them, and just in case the enemy tries to run upstairs as well. So we make contact, but unfortunately can't kill the Sova instantly. I try to spray him through the wall, which forces me to reload, which causes Fade to die unfortunately, but I'm quick on the trade at least. Then I press forward into sight because I know that they are decayed, deafened. Clove pops a smoke mid-sight. I immediately take priority space in there. I'm expecting her to walk in, and if she didn't, I was probably going to clear out backside because that's where my intuition would have said that they were hiding. Plus the Fade trail led to the backside caves. So that split-second decision to just run into the smoke pays off hugely because they try to walk in, but I'm already there. And for the last kill, the spray, the flick, everything very messy, but at least the final adjustment was snappy and on point, and luckily came out with a win. So remember, floaty aim bad, snappy aim good, but at the same time, you don't want to sacrifice your accuracy. So I know, easier said than done, and it almost sounds like a paradox, but check it out. Even if you whiff, it's all good. Everybody whiffs sometimes. But even if you whiff, your snap flick to the general area where that threat is going to be better than you slowly moving your hand over towards that side, because you'll have more time to react, more time to make that micro adjustment. Plus, if you are accurate and you get them on the first try, you're gonna look and feel like a god. But remember, like everything in Valorant, it's not something that you just train overnight, but just constantly try to improve upon day by day, session by session, game by game. So don't stress about it, put in the work and effort, and just do your best. If you keep at it and don't give up, I promise you, you will see results. You will get better, you will enjoy the game more, and you will frag out like